Today we are going to talk about a powerful figure from Tantric history, a spirit with whom I work not for a long time, but who became really quickly dear to my heart. He was one of the entities who first approached me on my tantric journey into Abhichara, but he was the one I called least often until recently. Today we are going to talk about Lavalian Gatisaman, the Ayani high priest of old Kalayan Dravidian civilization. According to the old Dravidian text, in a now sunken part of India, which is now underwater, long ago existed the ancient Dravidian Kalayan civilization. Within that civilization lived spiritually evolved people who pretty quickly discovered, through the aid of Murugan Ayan, the incarnation of the one of the Hindu gods, how to open the gateways between different celestial and underworld realms and communicate with the spirits there. They communicated with those spirits through use of ancient Dravidian technology of yantras. They inscribed certain symbols, combined them with certain mantras, scribed into those symbols, and through use of the mantras and yantras, they managed to open gateways into other realms. Murugan Ayan incarnated many times in order to guide the old Dravidians in the science of linking and communicating with the different beings from celestial and underworld realms. In Dravidian Ayanism there is no good and evil. There is only positive and negative. So for thousands and thousands of years, the old Dravidians communicated with the gods and with asuras, with the entities of heaven and underworld, and they accumulated the great knowledge. Murugan Ayan also taught the Dravidians many secrets, because back in the day, according to the old Dravidian teaching, there was no such a strong veil between the worlds. Veil was much weaker or even non-existent during the long ages. So Murugan incarnated regularly to communicate with humans and teach them sciences. Kalayans, Dravidians, they became really powerful. They developed many technologies for which we do not have equivalent right now. They became a really spiritually and technologically advanced civilization. And when civilization of their power reached peak, certain really powerful and spiritually gifted individual was born. His name was Lavalian Gatisaman. He was attuned to both celestial and infernal realms, but he was what we call today a left-hand path-oriented individual. He believed that connection with the Brahman is easier to achieve through destruction. Therefore, he heavily worked with destructive and negative entities, such as pretas, bhuts, pishachas, asuras, and other beings of the underworld. Alongside his assistant, Adhavena, he became really powerful, and he studied to great length science of unifying with the Brahman oneness through destructive means. Gatisaman, because of his sorcerer's knowledge, became one of the key advisors to the Kalayan emperor, and he accumulated great political power. So, when he reached such a power, Gatisaman finally started moving into motion his plan. It is not clear, did he receive his plan from his own head, or he received the plan as instruction from Murugan Ayan, or from Shiva Kalabhairav. What is known in the Ayani scripture is that Gatisaman had certain vision in mind. He wanted to unify all of the Dravidian schools of thought under one banner and perform a great ritual. A ritual which will unify the Kalayan emperor with the Brahman directly, and in this way create a living barrier between king and the source of all creation. He will create a living link between king and the source of creation, so that Kalayans can be ruled by the source of creation himself and usher the new unprecedented infinite golden age, which will have no ending. That was the plan of Lavalian Gatisaman. So he started moving his plan into motion. He raised the armies of the Kalayan emperor and started forcefully unifying all of the Ayanist schools of thought, all of the Ayanist factions and fractions under one banner. Because according to the Ayanist scripture, the Dravidians, the Kalayans, they had the emperor, but a lot of people within the empire believed in different schools of thought than Lavalian. They were not tantrics, they had their own visions of spirituality. So they had certain autonomy and they didn't wanted to participate in the great Kalayan rite. But Gatisaman didn't listen to it. He wanted to perform ritual. He wanted to perform the rite. So he raised the armies and attacked, and in many instances slaughtered all of those who opposed him and his rite. And the day came when all of the Dravidian lands were unified under Gatisaman and the emperor, and the great rite was performed. Gatisaman, alongside his sorcerers and his assistant Adhavena, called Ashura Kalanemi, Shiva Kalabhairav, Kali Devi, and he also called Pishacha Mayalakan, in order to facilitate the great Kalayan ritual. He used the energy of those four powerful entities alongside numerous power of many sorcerers, as well as large amount of human sacrifices, which was uncountable, in order to link the emperor to the Brahman directly through the rites of the left-hand path. Unfortunately, what happened as a result was not what Gatisaman expected to happen. Through the power of Shiva Kalabhairav, the ritual didn't bring connection of the emperor to the Brahman. What ritual brought forth was the cataclysmic destruction of the Ayanic civilization, of the old Kalayan Empire, and obliteration of the majority of people who lived within the empire. This was known in the Dravidian scripture as a Kalayan incident. In a weird and sinister way, Gatisaman succeeded, because it doesn't matter what we do. In the moment of death, for a second, we merge with the Brahman. So Gatisaman succeeded in a sinister way. He also brought forth the great tantric knowledge of the Abhichara school. His soul can be summoned forth through utilization of the yantra you see right now on the screen. However, there is a reason why this story is recorded in such a way. Many people even today who are tantrics and agoris and mantrics venerate Gatisaman as an example of great statesman, sorcerer, politician and a visionary. But however, it cannot be denied that Gatisaman definitely had some pretty interesting flaws in his character. He was self-centered in his philosophy, too confident, let's say honestly, prideful. He was unwilling to hear the advice of others. That can be said to be his main flaw, and he was also a really intolerant individual. In many ways he was a megalomaniac, but it doesn't mean that we cannot benefit from his knowledge. It doesn't mean that merging with Mayalakan or with Gatisaman cannot bring enlightenment. It can bring enlightenment. Merging with Gatisaman in a tantric way is one of the most potent experiences I had. However, working with Gatisaman is really risky, because when you merge with Gatisaman, you absorb the parts of his character. You absorb his cataclysmic philosophy, which ended the entire era, which ended the entire civilization. Gatisaman is one of the most powerful saints of the left-hand path you can conjure. But he is also one of the riskiest to summon. Not because the power of his spirit, but because of the knowledge he wields and the way he directs his initiates to use that knowledge. So today I will talk about how to summon Lavalian Gatisaman. You see yantra on the screen right now. Use this yantra, scry into it, and recite a chant. Ayani Lavalian Gatisaman over and over again. Ayani Lavalian Gatisaman. Ayani Lavalian Gatisaman. Until Gatisaman arrives, until you feel his presence in the room with you. There is one benefit of this yantra technology. It is that those yantras, as you can see, are extremely detailed. Therefore, if you use Hindu Ayanist Abhichara technology to summon negative spirits, there is no need for questioning did the right spirits appear, because yantras are designed in such a way that probability for wrong spirit to appear is really small. Gatisaman will arrive. What you will probably comprehend is a ghostly figure of a Hindu scholar with a black turban, dressed in black cloth, holding a scroll of knowledge. This is how he appeared to me. Gatisaman, when you first summon him, will not speak a lot. He will not reveal a lot of his secrets. But through working with him, I discovered a way for him to reveal a little deeper mysteries of his knowledge. You see, Gatisaman is a preta. It means a hungry ghost. What it means for us, the left-hand oriented tantrics? Well, on the left-hand path, we unify with the Brahman through destroying the infinite astral realities which stand in front of the Brahman and us. So, from the right-hand path perspective, Gatisaman is a fallen, hungry ghost. But from the left-hand path perspective, he is elevated rishi of the left-hand path. He is elevated sage. And his state of increased destruction is actually the state of holiness for us. Because in that elevated state of the destructive hungry ghost, he is more capable of destroying on our behalf the infinite realities which stand between Brahman and us as tantrics. So, in order to activate that destructive aspect of Gatisaman, to work on our behalf and elevate us through destroying the infinite realities between Brahman and us, we need to accept that Lavalian Gatisaman will be harsh teacher. What I am suggesting in this video is not in any means safe. Therefore, use the technique of this video with the caution in mind. Gatisaman can be used to bring money. He can be used to bring wealth. He can be used to bring power. But that's not the subject of this video. If you want that, simply summon him through repetition of chant I already gave with the blessing of Guru Daval from the Ayani World Foundation. I want to thank Guru Daval for giving us all of this information. And I want you all to check the links in the description of this video and subscribe to Ayani World Foundation Patreon. I am not associated with the Patreon in any way, so I am not getting any money from your subscriptions. But this is my way of thanking Guru Daval and the Ayani World Foundation through inviting people to check their channel and their Patreon. So Gatisaman can bring money. He can bring wealth and power, but that's not what he is there for. His main purpose is to guide us on the left-hand path to Brahman, as elevated saint of that tradition, as elevated master, who will guide us on this sinister path to enlightenment and union with the source of all creation. In order for us to do that, we need to awaken the predatory nature of Lavalian Gatisaman. And there is one really simple way of doing so. When Gatisaman appears in front of you, or when you feel his presence undeniably in the room with you, tell him that you want to merge with him, so that you can realize the Brahman on the left-hand path and connect to the left-hand aspect of the Brahman, to the destructive aspect of the all. Gatisaman will indeed, from the point of this pronunciation and statement, start merging with you. He will attach to your aura and then he will start entering your body. Every time you request merging, he will merge with you to an extent you can handle, because Gatisaman is aware of limitations of human condition, and he is also aware that if he pushed in us too much power and too much energy, we would go insane. But because Gatisaman is our ancient teacher from the forgotten past, he actually cares about his students. But he cares for them in a really harsh way. Well, when the merging starts and when you feel him merging with you, what you need to do is you need to do a form of a bloodletting. Or if you cannot draw blood, then you simply proclaim the following: I offer you my prana, my life force energy, Lavalian Gatisaman, to feed your eternal hunger, and in return you will do all in your might to merge me with the left-hand aspect of the Brahman, and make me realize enlightenment through the left-hand path. Then Lavalian Gatisaman will start to vampirize you, and he will start to drain your prana, to drain your life force energy. His presence will explode in intensity, and you will withstand pretty intense experience. When I say withstand, I mean that he will adapt himself to you. He will never take more energy than you can handle. He will never give more intense experience than you can handle. And he will never try to murder you or make you insane on purpose. However, experience will be really intense. Gatisaman will teach you many things, but I need to say that his mysteries are really difficult to master. Easy to learn, but difficult to master. When the session finishes, thank Gatisaman, and as his energy dissipates, breathe slowly until his energy resonance disappears. Then go and enjoy your sleep, because this ritual should be done at night, preferably at 2 a.m. However, if you are really unable to do it at 2 a.m., you should do it any night hour, but 2 a.m. is ideal. Thank you for watching, and use the advanced methods of this video, or I will not say advanced, that's egotistical, but use risky methods of this video with full awareness that you are responsible for the outcome. I am simply here to introduce you to an idea. I am not here to be responsible for your well-being. However, if you don't want to merge with Gatisaman, and if you don't want to feed him in this way, you can simply summon him normally and ask him for money, power, and other stuff. But I wanted to share this because I had a really strong internal urge to do so. Thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow.